Welcome to another episode of Into the West Comics. My name is Frank. I'm here with the ragtag group that's going to go and save Grogu possibly tonight at midnight.
Absolutely.
You guys are in?
I'm in.
It's only because he called. It's only because I heard him.
He meditated or
yeah,
whatever.
I was like, wait a second, that's Grogu.
You're like,
I know
what?
that's Grogu. I haven't heard it from him in a long time.
I'm out. I'm out.
Guys, tonight we're going to be happy and then we're going to be sad.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's going to be a roller coaster of hopefully at least an hour.
I heard that the time is it's like 42 minutes. Something like that for the episode tonight.
Really?
Yeah, I think the timestamp's like 42 minutes.
That's good.
So I will watch it twice.
We got, what was it? 30 minutes or 33 minutes and then the
Something
episode.
like that.
It was, it's trash. I want way longer. What do you guys think this is going to end? Happy? Bad? Sad?
Well, we're going to talk about what we think is going to end, how it's going to end.
Yeah.
But we want to talk about last week's episode and this, I don't know what you call it. They broke into a refinement camp. I don't know what you want to call it.
Mm-hmm. Some sort of
Empire Command
base.
Center.
Yeah.
So that they could download coordinates or something like that. They're like doing they're getting a map or they're getting a location to find Grogu, basically.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you guys think?
I thought it was a fun episode. I thought it was kind of filler, not really, compared to everything else.
Mhm.
But I think it was a nice little self-contained story for Bill Burr's character, who I cannot remember the name of right now. But it was a good change of pace for me.
Look at his name too.
Yeah.
I got it. I wrote it down.
Well, yeah, I thought it was a nice change of pace from because the last couple episodes have been big moment, big moment, big moment. This is happening, this is happening. This is kind of like, okay, self-contained story. I thought this episode was really pretty. Like, it looked really good on that forest planet, and it was very visually pleasing. I enjoyed watching it. Yeah,
I think they spent so much money on special effects on this episode, and probably a lot with the next one that I was mentioning. The last episode we got when Boba Fett came back, that it seemed like a little I don't know, underdone or something like that when they were having that action scene. A little low budget or something, but with all the stuff that we got, it was still action packed. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Donovan, what you talking about?
Well, I loved this episode for a lot of reasons. At first, I thought maybe we're on a group chat and we was like, filler? Do we think it's a filler? And I thought maybe it was a filler, but the significance of what we saw happen and take place, especially between the commander and Bill Burr's character,
Awesome.
that whole talk, and then him taking his helmet off, and for the first time we got to see how Slave One works inside, like how it goes from being at a horizontal base to a vertical base, and everyone's still. We saw the science behind that, so I thought it was really cool. And then somehow Boba Fett figured out time to polish up his armor, which is I really appreciate it. It was very cool.
So
cool. On him.
He detailed it.
Looked
very cool. But I thought it was I thought it was the most thought-provoking episode of the series so far. Watching it, there's a lot of significance on helmet on, helmet off. What does that mean for this character to have his helmet off? And if he has to take it off, like he was in panic mode, he had to take it off.
Absolutely.
Right.
But
he knew that he had to. It was kind of in a pinch. You know what I mean? I knew when they went into that, that was never a thought. You know what I mean?
But then we think about the Empire, like all the stormtroopers we see, all of these they all have helmets on. We never really truly see their identity.
No.
We never see who these guys are and what they believe in and what they're represented. Yes, we can read it in books like Lost Stars, which is a great book. I suggest everyone to read that book. But we don't get to hear how they feel about the thing. So bringing in Bill Burr's character, having him sit down and goes, yeah, all 10, 15,000 guys dead. Like him going through that and explaining that, and then having Din have his helmet off, like
he's like
listening to that, like, oh my gosh, this means so much more. And then Boba Fett saying, I can't go in there. They might recognize me.
That was one of my favorite parts.
Like,
of course they
you're,
were.
Absolutely. You're a clone.
Yeah.
Dude,
because
of course
you're
they
what all
would.
of them looked like back then.
And so for me, story-wise, when you're talking about character work and story-wise, I thought it was the most thought-provoking. I thought, my gosh, like the mental psychology of everything we've seen. And then did you guys not cheer when you saw the TIE fighter come in? Like, it was the first time we cheered for a TIE fighter.
That was
coming
true,
in.
That was exactly what I thought when it happened. I was like, holy crap, a TIE fighter just saved the day.
You're like, no way.
Yeah,
we're like,
cool.
yeah, and we're cheering with these guys, and we're like, wait, this is the Empire. We were told not to cheer for them.
And then Bill Burr's character's like, you never thought you'd be happy to see a TIE fighter.
Right.
what-
He says it.
Which
for
is
sure.
what everybody
Right.
was thinking. So for me, I thought it was it was the most thought-provoking episode I've ever watched on The Mandalorian. I really,
Wow.
really enjoyed it. And it said so much about who Din Djarin is going to be going forward, I think.
Agreed. That was deep.
Well, a couple little side notes. The character's name, Bill Burr's character's name is Miggs Mayfield.
Okay.
And
Yeah. Okay.
the guy he was talking to, the actor, I wrote the actor's name down. His name is Richard Brake.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah. Great
this is
character
this is a
actor.
good. This is good.
He plays Joe Chill in the
That-
original Batman Begins film.
He does.
A little bit more meta.
And who else does he play?
He also plays the Night King.
That's
in
right.
Season
Game
1
of
and 2.
Thrones.
Season 1 and
Yeah,
2 before they change up the.
before they switched it up
Mhm.
to.
He's a great character actor.
Great character actor. That's super cool. Super
So,
meta little.
That's kind
Easter
of
egg.
neat for you to be connected to, the different realms of nerd culture. I guess,
Absolutely.
for an actor is like a character actor,
Yeah.
but I mean, still, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think that they did some really cool things with this episode as far as building whatever they're going to be building going forward. You see that Miggs Mayfield is kind of like released now.
Yeah.
He's free to go.
Mm-hmm.
He's just kind of like wandering on this planet that he doesn't really know anything about. He's just like, hey, well, you're free. You can
Yeah.
go.
It's like, are you sure? Are you sure? Okay, I'm out.
And the
Yeah.
the rumors, and we're going to talk a little bit about the Star Wars series tomorrow night on our live episode.
Yep.
Live episode tomorrow night, by the way, 7 p.m.
7 o'clock.
West
Be there.
Coast. We'll be talking a little bit about that.
Mm-hmm.
But this, the Rangers of the New Republic series, I think that Cara Dune is going to be probably the lead or
Oh,
one of the
cool.
leads in that series. And I think that they might have Bill Burr involved in some
That would be cool.
capacity. Maybe Fennec is involved in some capacity. And we could probably get Weathers' character.
That'd be
in some-
really
Now with what's the last name again? Mayfield,
Mhm.
Miggs
Yeah.
Mayfield.
Mayfield.
So they had said in season 1 that he was a sharpshooter for the Empire, right?
Right.
Mhm.
So and then they joked that he couldn't shoot anything. So I also thought that was really cool that
That payoff at
that
the end.
Yeah.
how they showed that he really truly was a sharpshooter and
Mhm.
like I thought it was great.
And that
was
he's not
awesome.
he's not with them anymore. That
Yeah,
he, that he
yeah.
actually shoot now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
Well, I thought it was kind of like I got shades of why can I not Finn
Mm.
with that episode, but it seemed more contained and
Oh,
more on
sure.
the ground.
hmm
And I love when Star Wars does that. Like Finn's story, I think Finn is one of the most underused characters in all of Star
Absolutely.
Wars. And to see another little story like that, like he's not the only guy in the Empire that's like has a realization that you guys suck.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
Like a lot.
Mhm.
Like this many people died, and you're just like, ooh, it's necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're a
You're a
piece
bad
of
person.
crap. Yeah,
Bad person.
yeah.
But it begs the question though: is the like are rebels terrorists? And are we on the side of the terrorists? Or are we on the side of the So there's all these psychological questions we have when we watch this sort of stuff. So,
Mhm.
but I think ultimately at the end of the day, the rebels, without a doubt, are the good guys. Like there's
Yeah.
Right.
there's no hard debate that. But I mean, if you're really getting into the psychology of it,
Well, the backstory to this this operation that he was talking about with the officers explaining to Mayfield at the desk when they're having a little meeting in their break room or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He's talking about this kind of culling that is sort of like something that's been imposed by Thrawn.
Yep.
And other
Yeah,
people,
very cool.
high-ranking
Yeah.
officials
High ranking.
in the Empire
officers.
to sort of like it's sort of like a genocide of themselves.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Essentially, and then that's what finally just kind of he hits a boiling point. Mayfield
Oh, yeah.
does, and then that's where he just sort of snaps.
Snaps.
So
in the
you
movie.
wonder if we've got this first order that's starting to be being built, that we have. This series is based like 5 years after Jedi, basically
Mhm.
Right.
five-ish, 5, 7, 10 years, whatever after Jedi. And we'll talk a little bit about what we think is going to happen in the finale right at the end. But I'm interested in your guys' thoughts. How far are we going to go with this further development of finding out more about the Empire and what is Thrawn and Moff Gideon on the same side?
Right.
Are they actually working together? Or is Thrawn in his own little section,
That's what I think. too.
space in the universe,
That's what I think.
where they're not even seeing eye to eye? Does Thrawn show up and just kill Gideon?
yeah.
Right.
What do you think?
I think what he was just saying, it could be like when like Palpatine was doing his own thing, just off somewhere. We're probably going to see Thrawn when he has everything already built. He's been hiding for a minute. He already, he has an army. He has something. He has a plan. And I think he probably will come through and Moff Gideon just gets killed and we're going into the new enemy. We get Thrawn, a way bigger bad.
Do you
know?
think that Thrawn's gonna be in the Mandalorian, or was that a setup for him to be in Ahsoka? I kind of feel like it was a setup for him to be in Ahsoka.
Could be.
I tend to agree with Paul on that one.
Yeah.
Do we see Ahsoka tonight?
I think so.
Yeah.
I hope it's like a Ocean's 11, like we bring together all these stars of the
Oh,
episode.
I'm gonna wait till the end to talk
And
about it. I have such a cool theory.
I
on
would
it.
love for
Fun.
that. I would love for that.
Yes.
You know what I
That would
mean?
be
I
cool.
think we all want that.
Yes.
It's really hard to say. I think with all the spin-offs that are gonna happen, they set everything up in all these episodes for that.
Yep.
Boba Fett, a little bit of the Bad Batch with what's the girl that's rolling with Boba Fett?
Fennec.
Fennec.
She's gonna be in Bad
Yeah.
Batch.
Yep.
So it's kind of like I
She's
think
gonna voice the
character
yeah.
of herself in Bad Batch.
Right.
Very cool.
I think this season was a setup for Disney to put all of their spin-offs out there.
They planted all their seeds.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They did.
Absolutely.
Who directed this episode?
It wasn't Filoni.
No.
It was someone I wasn't
no.
really familiar.
It was
with,
it was another person.
because whoever did they did a
Rodriguez
great
was
job.
the episode before this, right?
Mhm. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Peyton Reed's directing.
He's doing the last one,
the finale. Yeah.
Should be interesting.
I hope when I turn it on and I like press pause really quick, it's not 39 minutes or something. You know what I mean?
No.
I hope it's like an hour plus.
I just don't want 3 minutes of a recap.
No,
Oh, yeah.
I don't
I
need
want,
that.
them to, I want them to jump into it.
Skip that every time.
So I feel like we're all kind of like hovering around talking about the end. Do you know either Mando records everything in his like HUD in his helmet, or he has a crazy good memory? Because that recording that he sends Moff Gideon at the end
So cool.
is the same speech word for word, except for he switches like soon and in
Yeah.
moments.
Mhm.
In episode 7 of season 1, this was episode 7 of season 2, and he was saying the same message, like, don't, he'll be back with me soon and all this kind of stuff. So that little touch at the end, I was like, okay, this is,
Yeah.
and you could see Moff Gideon's like, wait, how do you have this channel? How you got this number?
I'm enlisted.
What's going on here?
I mean, obviously we've seen that Din has a lot of passion for Grogu, but
Oh,
that's
yeah.
the first time for me I've seen it really manifest in that I'm coming for you.
You could tell in his voice.
You have what I love.
Right.
Yeah.
And
He
Right.
means
I'm taking
he
it
means
back.
more to me than he ever will to you.
Yeah.
Like when he took off the helmet, you can tell that he was like, crap, I don't want to do this. I'm not trying to do this. This is for Grogu though. I'm gonna take off this helmet. Whoever sees me, we'll deal with it later.
But did you see the acting choices he had when he put the helmet back on?
Yeah.
He looked at it, thought about it, then put it on.
Mhm.
He's like, maybe I don't need to. I should.
That is great acting right there.
Mhm.
That says so much. And
He's a good actor.
that one
He's a
little
great
like
actor, dude.
look at that. Okay, I put it back on. Like it's such a good choice because then we think about earlier in the season with Bo-Katan going like, hey, you don't have to keep that on. You know that, right?
Right.
Right.
Like you're okay.
And
like this is the way. Like,
That kind of
that's fine.
puts to rest a lot of the like speculation that
Yes.
he was upset about not having his face shown.
I was just about to say that.
Yes,
confirmed.
He said that.
Confirmed. That
yeah.
wasn't a
He
thing.
said
Yeah.
that it
No.
wasn't a thing.
No.
That it was a rumor.
It's a rumor.
Yeah.
I mean, and Disney could have been like, all right, here's a couple more million. Don't worry about it. We're going to make you take off your helmet a couple more times. Shh.
You have to show your face like
But
three
I
three
doubt
times a
that.
season.
A lot of people were saying he's a super like non-confrontational actor. He's super chill. I don't see him being like,
He's a professional. That's
I mean, also you're getting that Disney money. I mean, how much
Well-
do you think he's getting paid for, season 2? Season 1 did incredibly well, so they know season 2 was going to be better and do better. How much do you think
like
this
per episode is he getting paid?
No.
Probably like
I don't know. Disney got money.
Disney
Well-
got money?
Well, think about the greatest comedy show of all time, The Big Bang Theory.
I thought it was like Seinfeld.
But Sheldon, the guy who played Sheldon, I forget his name. What was his name?
Sheldon.
Yeah, so the guy who played Sheldon, he was getting paid $10 million an episode.
Well, that's what I was gonna say.
so,
in that,
but he signed on for a 10-year deal. So we don't know. At least I haven't done my research on how much he signed on for. I don't think they've disclosed whether or not how long he signed on.
well, because
for.
in the '90s, all the not Seinfeld, all the other characters were getting paid like $600,000 an episode.
Right.
which is
Which is
so-
still a significant amount of
25
money
years
back then.
later, in a Star Wars movie in Disney, Pedro Pascal's getting paid.
He's getting paid.
Jim Parsons is the name.
Jim
I just
Parsons.
looked
Thank
it
you.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones, towards the end, all the actors were getting paid a couple million an episode. You know what I mean? And I think with the success on Le Plus, this is Mandalorian's been carrying this for a year. You know what I mean?
Nobody watches Plus.
No, dude. It's you're watching The Mandalorian. You know what I mean? We've been talking about.
You're going to
this
start
forever.
watching it now more often.
Oh my God, we
with
got all
everything
kinds of
coming up.
Yeah, for sure.
Thankfully, they put that that huge amount of news out there. It makes people like, all right, cool.
I did watch some '90s nostalgia movies though. Went on there like Heavyweights.
No, for sure. I think within the first couple months of you having
Mighty
it,
Ducks.
you're like, yes.
I watched Mighty Ducks.
I watched all the Mighty Duck movies.
Yeah.
I watched First Kid, the movie with Sinbad, and he's the Secret Service agent for the president's son.
That's a really good
Laughed
one.
my ass off watching that. That was cool. But that's really all I could think of. I watched a little bit more like '90s nostalgia.
Parent Trap. I watched the Parent Trap.
Nice. The original, or you watched the
Lindsay Lohan one.
Lindsay Lohan one.
Oh,
Way
I'm
better.
sorry.
That's OG, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very much been the Mandalorian plus for me. Though.
He's like, I haven't watched none of that stuff.
Yeah.
No, I mean it's cool. I think if you want to watch something in order, like they set it up, you can watch all the Marvel movies in order, or Star Wars, or something like that. You can do that in a week or something. After that, what are you paying? What are you paying this money for? Mandalorian.
Well, I mean, that's why they have these other series. I think it's going to be like kind of like time gap fillers,
Mhm.
is that there's going to be 3 series going on kind of simultaneously. They'll
Right.
sort of overlap.
Right.
Then you'll have the Marvel series,
Mm-hmm.
so you'll have something to watch every. I don't know. They're going to make it like Thursdays or Friday nights. I guess they're going to try to make it like an event type viewing.
It'll be like a
because
Thursday
you're not
night.
going to be able to binge the whole season.
No.
They're going to spread it out because they don't want subscribers to do that. Just watch everything and then cancel the subscription.
There's a kid that I mentor. I mentored him and his brother, and they were like, "We have to wait another week." I go, "Well, kids, back in our day, this is how you waited for television to come
That's
out."
called TV. That's
Not
how
only
you
that-
watched it.
Right.
Not only that, but there used to be breaks called commercials right in the middle of that. You couldn't fast forward through those. You had to
Not at
watch
all.
those.
And we had to time everything to get the snack, go to the
Yep.
bathroom or the
Mhm.
drink.
Because if
or
you come
whatever
back
to
and
come
miss
back
something,
and you missed it.
There was no pause button back in the day.
If you missed it, it was over forever.
Yeah.
I kind of prefer it to be this way though, like week by week, because what happens is, and I think we can all attest to this, like with the Netflix series, Daredevil and such, it would come out that midnight, and if you hadn't watched it all by the next day, you can't go on the internet.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
no, for sure.
Sure.
You can't go
For
on the
sure.
internet. You can't, like when I worked at Tommy's, I would come in and a lot of times it'd be like, "Yo, Sonny, did you finish watching it all? It came out last night?" No, or vice versa.
No,
Right.
I'm in
I'm like,
school.
No, it's like,
I'm like, did you see this or blah 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 blah? You know,
what episode are you on?
I have a 3-year-old.
right? So I think agreed. I think I like the setup. I do get greedy, and you see something, you're like, I don't want to wait next week,
Right.
especially like what's been going on with Mandalorian, especially the boys.
Right.
It'll end, and I'm like, no way, no.
Yeah.
And I get jealous for people that you tell later, and they have all this time to binge something,
And they
you
get
know
to
what
watch all at once.
I mean? Oh my
Yeah.
god,
My brother does that. He waits till the season's over and then he binges it. I go, man,
I
you've
could
got
never.
the mental fortitude of a Marine because I could
No.
never do that.
No,
He's got a good focus.
The binge thing
Yeah.
could end up hurting a TV show, and I think an example of that is Iron Fist. Because I watched 3 episodes of Iron Fist, 2 episodes of Iron Fist even, and I was like, I'm done. But if it was coming out week by week, and you didn't have to slog through all the crap immediately,
Mhm.
and because I heard that
That's
show gets
true.
better towards the end of the season.
you heard wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
They got the character.
regardless,
They got the character all wrong.
It didn't.
regardless, point being
Yeah.
that you would have been more likely to tune in and go, okay, is it going to get better? Is it going to get better than trying to watch it all at once? And you're like, all right, I'm not coming back to this.
No.
He supposedly trained for like a long time for the role. I mean, I don't know.
It didn't show.
It didn't.
It's too bad they didn't do their research on the character of Danny and how he's like a calm, level-headed, totally one with himself, Zen person.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, first episode, I was like, this dude is the whiniest dude.
Yeah.
In all of Iron Fist, I've never seen any. I've never read anything like this. This can't be. This can't
Yeah.
be the guy that we're used to.
I was a monk. I'm barefoot. My parents have $1 billion.
Yeah.
I know kung fu.
That's what they all say.
Yeah, you know,
I'm surprised
All
they didn't
barefoot
cast you,
billionaires.
Sonny.
Look at my fist.
could have casted me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Plus,
Plus.
last week we had a few announcements. We had a lot of Star Wars announcements, but we also had some Marvel announcements. And I wanted to get a little bit of a deeper dive into what we heard about. And we kind of have tentative dates for everything that what's going to be happening beginning in 2021.
Yeah.
We're going to have 6 series on the Plus that are going to be Marvel related.
Mhm.
We think connected to the MCU, maybe besides the What If animated thing. but everything else is going to be kind of connected to the MCU.
Right.
Remember, we're going to get movies out too
For sure.
next year. We're going to see Black Widow eventually, if it doesn't get delayed again.
I
But-
think it's now officially been delayed more than like New Mutants, bro. It's maybe not.
That much?
It's
Been like
it's probably
6 or
close.
7. I think New Mutants was like 7 or 8. So it sucks. I think.
But one was more heavily because of the coronavirus. New Mutants was because of
But they made it into an entirely different film
Yeah.
because it's supposed to be a horror movie,
Right.
and
And it
was not.
That's why I watched that with Frank. It was
Yeah.
a fun watch.
I was like, did I miss anything? You're like, no,
Yeah.
no, you're good. No.
Oh, you're such a kind person.
When I say fun, I mean it was bad, but it was so bad it was
Generous
almost good.
review. It had some moments.
I think that's one thing I'd like to talk about on this show is top 5 worst movies that you
Oh man,
oh,
not
we
a-
got to
not
put
a-
that together.
that'll be a whole show.
not
Yeah,
of
oh,
just not of
absolutely.
just like worst movies period, but I mean we'll break it down to like either 5 worst horror, 5 worst comic book.
That'd be a fun show.
I will have some strong opinions.
Right. Just, I mean, we do a lot of, Jonathan will say, we do a lot of agreeing and talking up on stuff. One episode could just be complete, like, I hated this so much.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That would be a fun, like one team of 2 against another team of 2, and we're talking about point counterpoint type deal.
Oh, okay.
All right.
That'd be fun.
Get a
What?
moderator.
Yeah.
The guy. He's like, whoa.
Yep.
Me?
Huh?
So we have release dates, tentative release dates for these series that are going to be coming out on the Plus for next year.
Mhm.
We got WandaVision January 15th.
That's
We're going to get
soon.
Falcon the Winter Soldier March 19th. We get Loki sometime in May. I think it's going to be the week after Black Widow is out in the theater
That makes sense.
to sort of connect some dots.
Right.
And then we get What If in the summer,
hmm
June or July.
Yeah.
And then we're going to get the Ms. Marvel series. And then towards the end of the year, I think before the reason why Mandalorian is pushed back until Christmas, I think Hawkeye is going to end the week before that. And I think Hawkeye is going to be at some point in we don't know how long these series are all going to be.
No.
We know Falcon the Winter Soldier is probably 6 episodes.
I believe that's what they said. I believe it's 6 episodes of each that we're getting, which, I mean,
My question is, now with these, because I think about the gravitas of the actors that are
Wow.
in this.
What a
Yeah.
Ooh,
The gravitas,
nice.
people. Okay, that's my Trump. You got guys like Tom Hiddleston and Sebastian Stan,
Yeah.
and so you see these guys, and I think these guys are not television actors.
No.
So did they not sign television contracts, or did they do limited series? Like I know that
Like an
Like-
appearance thing.
like Loki is a limited series. Like we're not going to
Yep.
get a season 2, 3, 4.
No,
of
no, no.
Loki.
No,
That's
I think
for
it's
the-
only one season.
And is that for Falcon and for WandaVision as well?
I don't think
I'm not
there's-
sure.
I don't think there's multiple seasons for
I think
those
they're
either.
I think they're just straight
Okay.
shots until all the movies come out, and then
I-
everything will roll
yeah.
in.
I really love that.
Yeah.
I
I do too.
really, really
Absolutely.
love that because it protects the integrity of the character
Mm-hmm.
without having to force like, oh, what are we going to come up with now? It's like, no, no,
Mhm.
no, no. This is.
That's it.
I think that's a very smart play by Feige and Disney
Mhm.
and Marvel to set the table with, hey, we're going to give you like some things. Like, there's so much we want to tell you, but there's not that much time, so we're
Right.
going to do it this way. I
and you
think
get
it's
to
just
implement
a
other
really,
characters.
Totally, like
Gives time for the actors to put everything into this project, like where they don't have to. I might end up like this one character, and I get stuck in this role for. in
Now,
TV.
is Moon Knight going to be a feature, or is it going
I
to be?
think Moon Knight is a series.
I think so. Yeah.
So and then
'Cause we got-
Oscar
And
Isaac.
She-Hulk is going to be a
She-Hulk,
series.
Yeah.
I think I Am Groot might be its own thing.
Yeah, it's
Um,
an animated thing as well.
Is it?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think the idea of it kind of just being a one shot, like Obi-Wan is going to be a one shot.
Yeah,
6
that's all-
episodes, 8 episodes,
It's,
whatever.
it's all
that's
genius because then when we get to a fight like we did with Endgame, we all know these characters that we fell in love with,
hmm
Right.
even more so than we did before, as opposed to what we got in the first 11 years of the MCU. And I think it's just a really smart move on Disney and Marvel to do this. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Agreed.
Mhm.
Agreed.
And the series being limited runs give them an opportunity to put more money into it and do things like
Oh, God, yeah.
for the
Oh, yeah.
She-Hulk show, the Hulk is or Bruce Banner is permanently the Hulk right now.
Right.
And if it was, and he's gonna Ruffalo, as I understand it, is gonna have a pretty major part in it, and he's going to be able to be the Hulk the whole time, and they're not gonna have to contrive some reason
so
where
fun.
he doesn't have
Yeah.
to be the Hulk anymore.
That's
He's
so
actually Bruce
fun.
Banner again.
Right.
And I love that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Yeah.
So of these series, I mean, there are 6 in 2021 that we're going to get on the Plus. Of these series, What are your top 2 or 3? Like, what are the 2 that you're looking forward to the most, you think, out of the 6?
I think Loki, number 1.
Okay.
I think WandaVision, number 2. I think Hawkeye last. I would think.
Really?
I mean, they got Is Miss Marvel going to be a movie or
It's
a
a series,
series?
too.
So I think that's probably last for me. And then Hawkeye.
Just because of the character?
I don't know too much.
Yeah.
I'm not too stoked on Miss Marvel. I don't, So I think for Secret Invasion.
That's going to be,
That's not
that'll be
2021.
2022. That'll be the following year.
That's
But
nice.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what my area.
Okay.
What about you?
First is WandaVision. I was like, maybe it's just a recency bias, but I just want to see what this
You
is
just want to see
about.
what it is.
I want to see if she's hallucinating. I want to see if this is something that took place before Vision is, no longer
Mhm.
with us. If she recreated Vision, or if someone recreated Vision, and it's just like in her mind, and we see all of these kind of scenes where transitions are like, it seems like it's going in and out of like different realities, and you see it like in different time eras and everything, and then maybe she's just trying to identify with
Agatha.
possibly.
So, I think a theory I've heard and tend to agree with is that this series is going to take place with the Mind Stone, and it's going to be like an elongated like period of time. It feel longer than it actually is, and it's actually happening within the moments before Thanos rips the soul out of its head.
Boom!
And
I
Scarlet
like
Witch
that.
realizes that,
She has only moments to
And
to
so
save him.
she-
She's trying to like live out a lifetime
and
or
that's
something
why
with him.
at the end of the
Wow.
trailer you see the Mind Stone get ripped out.
Oh yes!
Wow,
I like that.
that's good.
Mm-hmm.
And like if we can get like some type of moment, because they don't have to bring everybody back from Endgame, but just put them back into that forest right when that moment, and you can kind of see like this is all happening, and at the end or whatever, it plays some kind of connection to that. I really like
Yep.
that idea. Like she has moments. I just only have moments left with you. I'm gonna try and let's go through every single possible way, every single possible time to live out our lives together. And
Because they went off the grid in Infinity War. They
Right.
said that they went off the grid. They were on vacation or
Right.
on their long trip. We don't really know how long they were gone, but they were gone for a while.
Right.
And she doesn't think that she had enough time with him.
Right.
So that totally makes sense.
that really
And
does.
that's why you hear echoes of we were kind of assuming it was Steve Rogers over the radio in it, because she's like Wanda,
like he's screaming at her at that moment or
and
something.
We actually, so
really,
I did
really
my
good.
research on
That's
this because I
really
thought
good.
this too, but it's actually James Parks' character that's saying Wanda, the guy
Mm.
who played the
Mm.
FBI agent in Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Okay.
He's also in this show. That's his voice that's saying, Wanda, where are you?
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So my theory is that we're going to see Morbius show up. And I think he's the one that is trapping the mind of Scarlet Witch somehow. We know that Richard, I believe his name is Richard Dent, the guy who's in Rise of Skywalker, the
Richard Grant?
Richard Grant.
Yeah.
Okay.
He is slated to be in the MCU and future MCU projects. I think he might be our Morbius. I think he's going to be the guy that is going to be sort of leading the charge on possibly being the next Loki of the MCU. Not Morbius.
Yeah,
What's
I'm like
his name?
Mephisto.
Mephisto. Oh my
I'm
gosh,
like,
Yeah.
Morbius. I'm so
I'm
sorry.
like- I'm like,
Mephisto.
whoa.
I think.
What you talking about?
I was a little.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
sorry.
what I got off the song. I'm like, how
Sorry,
is he going to
sorry.
connect this?
I'm looking
one?
at the
I
ground
knew
like-
where you were going, so
Thank you.
yeah.
Mephisto. That's what I
Mephisto.
meant.
Okay, that makes
I
more
think that
sense.
Mephisto is going to be the guy who is like
Pulling all the strings. in
pulling
the
all
back.
the strings behind it, because we see in the Loki trailer there's a part where he's in front of a stained glass window and
see the
there's
devil?
a devil there, and I'm like, oh,
That's Mephisto.
that's Mephisto.
Yeah.
And he says, where are you? And she says, I don't know. Or the girl who plays
She's
Agatha.
going to be Rambo's daughter.
yeah, she's Rambo's daughter.
Yeah,
And
from
she's
Captain
grown up,
Marvel.
so she's like, I don't
Grown
know
up.
where I am. And we see that beekeeper uniform. We don't know who's in that beekeeper uniform.
Right.
So I think it might be Mephisto. I think we're going to see a new character that's brought into this universe that is a Loki type. I always thought that Von Doom would be the guy that would be the Loki type going into the next MCU.
They're saving him.
I think they're going to
man.
save him for like 5 or 6.
They're
5 or
saving
6.
him, bro.
For sure. But I do think that we need someone to connect the dots to get to ultimately to get to Galactus, and I think this may be the strategy to go to.
I think that's the whole strategy of everything coming and moving forward. I think it's kind of like the top tier boss battles. Boss battles. You get Thanos is out of the way. You know,
Right.
Mephisto's coming up there. Kang the Conqueror's coming up there. But
Annihilus.
they're still not on that level of Galactus.
I do think our minds are going to get blown by WandaVision. I think we're going to be like,
Something's gonna happen.
oh, we had no idea.
Something's gonna happen.
I really hope it's
Something's
your
gonna
theory
happen.
because I'm listening to
Joyce.
this and I'm like, oh, what a great
It
I'd
makes
love to
sense.
take credit for it, but it's something I read.
what a great
Good job, Paul. Good reading.
You're welcome.
What a great theory. Like
That
that
is
would
good.
that would be really really
So
cool.
what is the series? It's like, I don't know if we actually answered the question.
Oh,
But
sorry.
I said WandaVision, and then after WandaVision, I would say probably, you said Loki?
I said Loki first. That's
Okay.
my number one.
I'd say WandaVision and then probably Loki. I'm interested in seeing how they interpret Hawkeye because it's going to be based on Matt Fraction's run.
Mm-hmm.
If you have
Yeah.
a chance to read Hawkeye,
My life
Matt
as a
Fraction,
weapon. Is that
yeah.
what that one?
Yep.
it's a great
He's
story.
really cool. He
It's
makes
a
him
great- it's a-
really cool.
It's a great story.
Yeah. For all
And
the
it's-
haters on Hawkeye, he's kind of cool.
And how they have it written, how Matt Fraction wrote it, it would play really well for it to be a limited series because it wasn't a huge run.
right.
So I think it'll be
That's really cool.
I think it'll be great. But yeah, WandaVision is probably the one I'm looking forward to the most.
For me, it's Loki. I'm with Sonny on this one. Loki. Oh,
You guys
sorry.
are Team
And then-
Loki.
And then I mean, I watched these trailers for it, and I couldn't believe what I was watching. I was like, "This is television! Like this is television!"
Mhm.
Yeah.
Especially the Loki one. The scale.
It's not. It's Plus.
The yeah,
This is true. This is true.
It
The
is
Mandalorian
plus. The scale of Loki though looked so good. Like, and then having Owen Wilson be in there, and he's
I
like,
know.
"You lying? You just lie." Like I loved Owen Wilson doing his thing, like
the
seeing
TVA.
that.
Wow.
With the
TVA.
Time Force variance, like I thought, I was just like, I think that's what it's called, right?
Yeah,
the Time
TVA.
Variance Alliance or something.
Time Variance Authority. or
Authority,
something
that's
like
what it
that.
is. I just
wrote
think
it down.
Loki's gonna be real, and Tom Hiddleston, like, he's so good.
He
He
is.
really is so good. I mean, we
Originally
all,
wanted to read for Thor. He wanted to have the
I've
role
seen the
of
tape.
Thor.
Mhm.
Have you
Yeah.
seen the
Yeah.
audition tape of him? It's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah, I'm so glad it didn't
But
work
yeah,
out
so
like that.
so for me,
Same.
it's Loki. Then it's WandaVision. Then it's What If as the third one.
Forgot about what if, dude.
Some of the animation that I saw, I thought was really impressive, and I was like, "This is really, really good." And they took all the scenes that we all know in our brains from
And
the
they switched it
MCU
up.
and
Mhm.
switched it up, and you're like, "This is so good." And then we're gonna be able to hear the Watcher like
Mhm.
talking, and I believe that's voiced by Jeff. What's his name from
Jeff
from-
Ross.
from
No, just
Jeff
kidding.
Ross. Jeez.
From
It's,
Westworld.
It's
Westworld.
Bern Arnold.
Yeah, Bern Arnold.
Bernard / Arnold.
The
from
new
Westworld.
Jim Gordon.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he's voicing
That's
the
another
Watcher.
meta little part. He's going over to DC a little bit too.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see the Watcher like totally explain what the multiverse is and what this looks
Mhm.
like, and I see everything. I mean, I think Original Sin. I think it's going to be a lot like some shades of Original Sin in there. Like what
Yeah,
are we
that
gonna
Doctor
see?
Be.
Strange. That Doctor Strange moment when they're
fighting
the evil-
another Doctor Strange, like
and he has like the evil claws
ooh.
and stuff. I'm like, who is this? What is this?
So-
going on?
Dude.
Yeah, it may or may not impact story, but I think it's going to just be really, really fun to watch. And then I'm excited for Falcon and Winter Soldier. I mean, we really love the dynamic between their characters.
I
Between-
love that they like hate each other.
Yeah, the
like,
the
I hate you.
callback of the "I hate
I hate
you"
you
was
so
so
much.
good. Like, and then
When they're
him-
both trying to fight Spider-Man.
Yeah.
right, and they're flying through he's flying through the canyon, and I thought it was going to be like a quick like 3-second thing. I was like, no, this is a solid like 15-25 seconds,
Mhm.
like of him flying and like really seeing what Falcon's like.
I think nowadays Disney
to.
money has the
Yeah.
stuff to do that because
Yeah.
once Mandalorian, the scale of the show has grown dramatically since the first one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they now know, oh, we could put some money in here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then I go Hawkeye, just because and because I know nothing about Miss Marvel. I really truly don't know anything about Miss Marvel.
Me neither.
Unless it's like Captain Marvel's sister-in-law or something.
They're sticking to the roots of her background, that she's a She's an Indian superhero.
Oh,
She's
cool.
a kid.
Mhm.
I mean, but they're gonna have Indian-based actors and actresses,
Oh, fun. Okay.
directors.
That's good.
I mean,
When you say Indian, do you mean across the pond, or do you mean
Correct.
Native American? Oh, so okay, so
yeah,
so Asian Indian.
right.
Gotcha.
See,
Yep.
This is great.
I'm like,
correct.
So
Paul, what are you looking forward to of the?
I wasn't
Plus
sure. I was just making sure.
series?
No,
Sonny's
no.
face
Gotcha.
did it to me.
Her alter ego is Kamala Khan. That's her name.
Oh,
Mhm.
well, there you go.
There you go.
Okay, so I kind of want to go backwards, but no, I'll just go from 1 to 3. So the one I'm most excited for, I think it sounds like we're all kind of in agreement, is Loki. I love that character. I love that part of the universe. I love the way they're making it so he's still alive. That it's not the Loki that's been redeemed.
no,
It's
he's still not cool.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah.
and we're gonna get to see that. And then number 2, which seems like you guys don't really agree with me, maybe Frank does, is Hawkeye.
Hmm.
The place, if this was 5 years ago, Hawkeye from the movies, I don't care.
Right.
But the way they developed that character over the last movie or so,
It's true.
I think he's one of the coolest characters in the group. He's
yeah.
a
Yeah,
regular.
when he turned into Ronin for a little bit and then kind of came back, through himself, he was like, I'll test it out. You
and
know
he
what I mean?
had all that tragedy and went
Yeah,
through it,
you're
got his
right.
family back, lost Black Widow, and on top of what Frank said, I haven't read My Life as a Weapon, but I've
Mhm.
heard fantastic things.
Yeah.
And so if I get to watch it in a TV series and see this character develop, I am super, super excited for that. And then number 3 is What If. I'm not usually super
Yeah.
excited about
Animation.
animation, but I was reading something about T'Challa is going to be
Star-Lord.
Star-Lord.
Yeah.
And that sounds so cool.
Yeah.
So he doesn't
Yeah.
become Black Panther. That's not a thing. Someone else becomes Black Panther, except he gets abducted by the
Yondu or
Ravagers
whatever.
and ends up going to space.
That sounds so cool.
does. you
Yeah,
know?
it's really cool.
And then the other ones, I'm kind of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I'm excited for that. But I'm much more excited for Loki and Hawkeye.
So of these series, which would you binge? I have my answer. Which of the 6 would you like if you go Donovan's Brothers route and just wait until it's over and then watch
then
all
go
of it
for
at
it?
once? Which one would you think
I think I'd go WandaVision.
to watch all at once?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
okay.
think I'd go Hawkeye.
I think I would go whatever is furthest away from the movie coming out first. So I'd probably do like Hawkeye
Okay.
or something. Because if you do WandaVision, you're going to be waiting for Doctor Strange, and that's not going to come out for a minute. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
So I think
They're shooting it now.
Yeah. I
The multiverse, Doctor Strange 2,
Multiverse of
still
Madness.
doctoring.
With Sam
Playing
Raimi behind the
Doctor.
camera.
Still Doctoring.
Sam Raimi, yeah.
I'm down with that.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
I'm down with that
so
for sure.
exciting.
I'm down with that for sure. What about you?
I would say Falcon the Winter Soldier, just because it's going to be 6 episodes. I mean, I don't know if the rest of these are going to be 6 episodes too, but the way that it kind of plays out, it feels like even though Steve Rogers isn't there,
Mhm.
it feels like it's going to be the blueprint of a Captain America movie.
Yeah.
And I just want to see it, like, I think all in one shot. That'll be the one I probably wait until it's all done,
So
and then I'll watch it all at once.
I have a question for you guys. What bad guys would you like to see in these be introduced for the first time in the MCU in these new series? I think I've said it correctly. Morbius, right? No, Mephisto being the guy for WandaVision, I think for me is what I'd like to see. But I mean, as far as these other series go, like what villain would you like to see being introduced into the MCU for the first time in these series coming up?
That hasn't been already named.
That has not been already named.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, so
That is
I
potential.
don't know anything about the Miss Marvel show. Pretty much don't know much about Miss Marvel, period.
Right.
But what I know is she's got stuff to do with the scroll.
Mhm.
And what I also know is there's a Fantastic Four movie coming out soon. And what I
Mhm.
do know is that the coolest scroll there is the Super Scroll.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And I'd like to see him get introduced at some point, maybe even in that show.
Okay. That's super solid.
That's
Dude,
cool.
You did way better. Go. Someone else go.
I'm thinking
I
villain.
should have went
I'm
last.
thinking villain, but a villain being reintroduced. I'm talking about when they recast the actor to play
got one.
Red Skull in the Infinity War
Oh, cool.
and Endgame. When they recast him, I would like it if we're going to get another season, or if we're going to be teasing something for whatever's going to happen with the Falcon the Winter Soldier going forward. Maybe they're going to be in the Thunderbolts movie or something. I don't know what version of Avengers or whatever we're going to get. Maybe they reintroduce the Red Skull.
That would be cool.
I'd be excited about
Do
that.
you know about the guy who played Red Skull?
Yep.
In Ross Marquand is his
Yep.
name.
Yeah, he's
Walking
from
Dead.
Walking Dead.
Yeah, he's a fantastic actor. He's also like a
Super
master
range.
impersonator.
Yeah, he's
Like,
an impressionist. Yeah.
so good. Like when I saw, it, I was like, oh, they got Hugo Weaving in this, and then I read afterwards. I was like,
Oh.
Diffie?
Excuse
Are
me?
you serious?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, he's
that
good.
was impressive. So that would be cool just to see him come back as it. I think that would be a lot of fun. But I do like Red Skull's awesome. So
So
like
who would
that.
you think?
for me, it's Mephisto.
Okay,
And
not Morbius.
No, not Morbius. No.
A little outside of things. I think we're missing one big bad in, especially with the movies and everything going on. Ever since Civil War, when Spider-Man got introduced, where's Norman Osborn? You know, I'm looking at a Green Goblin or a Hobgoblin, possibly. I think he's on the, I wouldn't say like Doom level of bad guy, but he definitely has a lot of stuff going
What
on.
show do you think? he'd
Yeah, I was
show
just
up
gonna
in?
ask, what show do you think he would show up in? If
Because
It'd
he's
be
a
have-
very Spider-Man villain.
Right. No, it would have to connect something super. I don't know, man. I think he's just, for me, it's just the only bad guy I'm thinking is missing that's like on a super high scale.
if I'm looking at our list here, I think the most like the two most that I think would make the most sense would either be Falcon and Winter Soldier or Hawkeye. If it's gonna be Falcon and Winter Soldier, it's got to be like super low radar, under the radar thing of them like
Like,
Being
hi,
in
I'm
a
Norman Osborn.
or being
Right.
being in a plane and they get like his new suit and it says Oscorp on the suit,
Right.
like on the
Oh,
on the
okay.
Right.
crate. Like we see that, we go, oh shoot, Norman Osborn's coming back. Like this is awesome. So I think if you're going to introduce it in one of these new shows, it's got to be really low key.
Mm-hmm.
No pun intended. In one of these in one of these shows.
Pretty good.
Thanks. But it's got to be in one of these shows, and that like little bit. That's in the same way that we saw in Man of Steel when we saw the Wayne Enterprises
The building.
satellite
Or the
when
satellite,
we
yeah.
were when him and Zod were fighting. Something like that, I think, would be the way that you would
That could be a
introduce
cool
that.
little Easter egg.
Yeah,
in
very
there.
fun.
And
Yeah.
then another character I just thought of that he was in The Winter Soldier, but not much, and he would have to be recast because they're not going to cast George St. Pierre in a actual acting role.
Yes.
Batroc the Leaper. He could be a very interesting villain in the Loki, or excuse me, Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Falcon and Winter Soldier.
we
for
do know
sure.
Baron
be
von
cool.
Zemo is going to be in Falcon, right? And
Oh
Winter
yeah.
Soldier.
I feel like
Yeah.
we haven't said anything about him.
He's going to be in there. Yeah.
With
Yeah.
the OG mask and everything. I love the.
Yeah.
I
That
love
would
the-
be
the mask.
amazing if he teams up with him.
Yeah, and I think the Batroc could be a good guy in front of the guy,
Yeah,
and he's the one fighting him
Totally.
for the
That'd be
majority
fun.
of the show. But
that would be good.
The mid-level boss in the game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
exactly.
Sure.
But
Makes sense.
because he
The
doesn't
Vega.
die, he just gets arrested.
Right. Yeah.
And
He's
it's
still
like
out
I
there.
said, it's not gonna be. They're not gonna. It's not gonna be George St. Pierre. It's
No.
gonna have to be somebody else. But
Could be Conor McGregor.
yeah,
you
yeah, that
imagine?
would be perfect.
No.
Conor McGregor. I'd like
Or-
to take this time to apologize.
To absolutely nobody.
Every night's a red panty night when you work for Disney.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yes.
So, all right. So, I wanted to mention again, we're going to have a live show tomorrow night,
Yes. 7
7:00 on the West Coast.
p.m.
We're going to be reviewing Mandalorian's finale.
It's gonna be crazy. Bring your tissue box. I'm gonna be crying.
It's going to be emotional. Like I said, we're going to be very happy, and they're going to be bummed out for a year
Yeah.
until next Christmas when Santa comes again. I wanted to mention again the stuff about the Plus that we were talking about a few weeks back.
Mhm.
It looks like the theaters are going to have a little bit of pushback. They're going to be reducing ticket prices
I read that this
Yeah.
morning.
for movies that are released
Yikes.
by Warner Brothers as sort of pushback for like, we're not going to try to make you
Yep.
any money,
Mhm.
you know. So I got to see if I can get a reduction on my tickets. But I got Wonder Woman tickets. So is this going to be the model if for all these Warner Brother films going forward? You know that Dune, the Dune movie, the guy's really upset about
They're
that.
very,
They're-
very
they're-
upset.
Pretty
they're-
much everyone but the Wonder Woman people are very mad
pissed.
Warner Brothers pissed the bed on this one.
because they didn't
did.
tell anyone.
Big
That's what they're
time.
mostly mad about.
And that's what I heard. That's
the
what I
only
heard,
people that
I'm-
were told
Totally.
was the Wonder Woman producers and directors and actors. Everyone else, this was kind of like they found out when we found
And
out,
she's
Denis-
going to Disney.
Yeah.
which is
Yeah,
Denis,
she's fine. She's like, oh, I'm
So
good.
she doesn't
Yeah.
care.
Denis Villeneuve,
She's like, I got action
Um,
figures, dude.
Chris Nolan, even Judd Apatow weighed in
Mhm.
on these. This is like the perfect example. I think Judd Apatow Todd said that this is the perfect example of what corporate greedy people look like. Is this right here in this industry?
Makes sense, man.
And I don't know what the strategy is or what the mindset is or the thinking of it. We know that in show business, the bigger word in show business is not show. It's business,
Yeah, that's a good point.
without a doubt.
That's a good
So
point.
he had to have had investors say, "Hey, we need to get this stuff out as soon as possible."
Absolutely.
Get
Like how
this
long?
year
How
going.
long could they wait with all this stuff?
Right, and that's what the CEO of Warner Brothers has gone on record saying, "I did this because of the virus." And then Disney went, "That's cute. Hold my beer." We're not gonna.
Oh, watch this.
We're gonna put all of our features in theaters, but we're gonna make some shows too and some original content that's gonna blow it out of the water.
And the stuff that HBO did goes under our radar in that we're just like, oh yes, we're gonna get all this stuff. But because like how much when we were super excited about the HBO stuff, we were like, which one of us was like, oh, but what about the creators? No one. We were just like, yeah, we're gonna get all this stuff.
Right.
And then it comes out the creators are they're pissed off. And even Patty Jenkins, she had a quote. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was the most like I'm not gonna be mean to WB because they helped me out, but they kind of shafted everybody else. She said that without really saying that.
Of course.
And so even her, she's like, what they did
She
is
had someone proofread that
is not
letter
the
first.
hotness.
Timothy Chalamet hosted Saturday Night Live this weekend, and he wore a legendary Pixar sweatshirt. And when he said goodbye, and they signed off the air. I mean, that has to tell you right then and there. I mean, if you guys don't know who Timothy Chalamet is, he's going to be playing
lead.
Paul in Dune.
Yeah.
So it's the fact that he wore that is he's subtweeting these guys like, yeah, you really and I when I first heard the news, it was a head scratcher to me. I went, I don't see how this makes any sense, especially the fact that we have a vaccine now and it's going to be distributed. And I think by summertime, which is the biggest time to go to the movies, we're going to see theaters open up more. We're going to see people out more. We're going to see people doing better. I don't understand the logic behind it.
Well,
at
long term,
all.
it could end up hurting them because there could be a
I
shift,
think it will.
and then they'll say, "Well, okay, we'll put the movies in theaters now,
And
like
Legendary
in just theater."
is well within their rights, and they're pissed to
Oh,
be
of
like,
course.
these are
Yeah.
our movies. We forked
Yeah.
over the money for this. You cannot release them, or we're gonna take legal action.
So what do you think's gonna happen? How do you think everybody's gonna happen?
I'm still gonna go to the movies.
Absolutely.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, of course. I saw a meme that said, now I know why the Roaring 20s were the Roaring 20s after the pandemic of 1918. Everyone just wanted to get the hell out. Like, of course. Like, and there's a lot of economists saying that our country's going to see an influx of a Roaring 20s type feel that we got 100 years ago. We're going to see it
Roaring
now
20s part 2.
today, and it's going to be even better than before. So I'm
agree.
like, why? I just don't see. I don't see the forecast, and I don't see the logic behind what Warner Brothers was trying to do. But again, I'm also an idiot, and I've never been an executive either. So, you know,
it's like I don't know what plan they thought was gonna be right, and
Do we think all the movies they said are gonna come out are still gonna come out on
No.
HBO? Yeah, no way.
I don't. I think by the time they get to May or June, like you said, if people have been taking the vaccine, and cases are dropping,
it's gonna be a change.
I
is
think they're gonna-
Batman slated to come out this year in 2021?
no, it
No.
doesn't come out
Oh,
until
it's 2022.
It's October
Even
of
if-
2022.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's say COVID doesn't die down enough to get people back in theaters. I even think still then a lot of the movies they said were going to get released, maybe not a lot, but definitely a few are either going to get pushed back from being released because of the way the creators are like, and Legendary especially, because like a director being like, no, you can't release, is different from a whole nother studio that forked
Right.
over the money for it. Legendary being like
Dune.
all the money you think you're going to make off of this, you're not, because we're going to sue you.
Right.
And
Like,
so Warner Brothers be like, okay, maybe we can't
but
release this.
Dune, do you really want to watch Dune on your 56 to 76 inch
No.
television? No, you want
No.
Dolby Sound 5:1 ratio. You want the 35 millimeter experience. You want to sit down and watch this
I
incredible
want to watch it in the
film.
theater.
It's like
what
that
is
with
intended?
everything. I mean, all the movies that have gotten pushed back. I mean, probably with the exception of Black Widow, I could watch that on the couch. But
Yeah.
there's
It's
man,
an experience.
It
You're
is.
going to have an experience, and Dune
dude. The
is
reason
one of those stories.
the reason all of this why we're here is we started going to the movies, watching Thor and watching comic book movies at South Point late night,
Yep.
going to get steak and eggs after, and
so
we would
fun.
do this while eating or after text messaging, and it turned into this. You know what I mean? I want that. I mean, it sucks, man. It really does.
And then the experience of being in a theater with other people that are also watching it for the first time,
and they're all
can
as
tell me
stoked as you.
Yeah.
the elation you felt when Black Panther comes walking out of that portal in Endgame, and the crowd, or even when Mjolnir, like, he holds Mjolnir, and Thor's like, I knew it. Like, everyone went
when
I was
out
watching
of,
it with him.
When
everyone went out of their minds.
you see the hammer go up, and
Yeah.
Thanos gets smacked, and it keeps going, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, dude.
And he catches it and looks back. Someone in front of me threw their popcorn up, dude.
Like,
it
you
was
can't,
And
it was
rightfully so.
Yeah,
I think
rightfully
I
so.
screamed.
I was
Yeah.
oh my god.
those
I
experiences are cherished by
Bro,
moviegoers.
bro.
They're cherished by you
are
remember
those
that for the
moments,
rest
yeah.
of your life.
Mhm.
People in 1977 remember the first time they saw a giant class Imperial ship go over the Tantive 4 over Tatooine. They remember the experience they had
Yep.
watching that.
Mhm.
Yep.
And I don't think that'll ever go away.
No,
I
dude.
don't think so.
either.
Absolutely not,
And
bro.
I keep bringing it back to the legendary Warner Brothers situation. How many Warner Brothers movies, the best Warner Brothers movies, have come from Legendary? That's not a relationship Warner Brothers wants to ruin.
Absolutely
Legendary
not. No, it's
produces all the Nolan movies. It produces all the Godzilla movies right now.
Mhm.
It's probably produces some part of the DC universe. I don't actually remember. I think their logo's in front of that, is it not?
Yeah.
All of it.
All
yeah.
of them.
Well,
And-
Legendary.
The vast majority of Legendary's films, if you look at their
Yeah.
catalog, are good movies,
Yeah.
enjoyable movies.
Yeah.
That's not a relationship that Warner Brothers wants to ruin.
No, you're right.
And releasing their movies on their platform without their okay could be like, okay, fine.
It could be a game changer.
I'm not going to work with you anymore.
Yeah.
And then what happens then?
The year will be interesting for Warner Brothers, and I think that their investors are like, "Hey, what are you doing?" But again, we'll see what happens. But I'm kind of with Frank on the fact that I think they're like, "Yep, we're going to release them all the same day," and I think they're going to backtrack on a lot of this stuff and go, "Well, we don't really want to release this now that theaters are being open."
Some stuff will get
again."
delayed, and of
Yeah.
the 14 or whatever movies they said are going to get
Right.
released,
Yeah.
we'll probably see 4 on HBO Max.
Yeah.
See, like, I think Mortal Kombat is something that they'll probably let slide, but like The Matrix, they're gonna be like,
No,
No, they want that in the
absolutely.
theater.
No way. dude.
Absolutely
Yeah.
not,
No
dude.
way.
I don't want to see the Godzilla versus Kong movie
No.
on my
On
couch.
my couch?
No.
Of course not. You
No.
want to see the
We'll see the roar. I want everything.
feel every yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's
Speaking
crazy
of the roar and the excitement and anticipation, tonight at 12:01, we get the finale that we've been talking about.
You better stay awake.
I'm gonna try.
Going to try.
Look, dude.
I'm
Yeah.
old. And
Not even like,
I'm old and I'm sleepy.
dude.
I'm
He's
gonna,
like,
go
I'm
to bed.
gonna go home and take a nap.
I'm gonna go to bed after this.
All right.
I woke up at like 2 and I watched it.
Okay. Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
That's true.
So tonight, I need your predictions as we bring this to a close. I need your predictions for what's going to take place in the finale. Paul,
I want to say that I'm very excited
wanna-
for what you have to say because I always love your takes on this. I was
He's
so-
really, he's like really, really.
I was
good.
looking forward to tonight to hearing what Paul had to say.
hot take
I
alert.
just got a lot of pressure put
Meow,
on
meow,
me.
meow, meow, meow.
So I think we're definitely going to see a siege of some kind of Moff Gideon from our band of heroes,
Mhm.
and I think we're not going to see the Jedi that Grogu reached out to until the last 10 minutes of the episode.
Yeah.
And they're going to get in there. They're going to be pushing to get Grogu. We're going to have, like, any arc. They're going to get in. It's going to look good. Then it's going to not look good. It's going to look dire. And then someone's going to step out and light up a lightsaber. And I think I've thought about it some, and I think it's definitely either going to be Ahsoka or Ezra. The
To
reason I
come
think
to answer the call, like she came back.
like she came back,
She
like
second
she's
thought
like
it.
they need me. He got captured. The only reason I think it might be Ahsoka is because that's more rewarding for fans who have only watched The Mandalorian, which is a lot of people.
Right.
Because Ahsoka steps out, you see her blade light up. Everyone's gonna be like, yes.
Right.
And you see Ezra step out, light up his blade.
People
and
be like, what?
everyone who knows who he is gonna be like, yes. And people who don't, they're gonna be like, yes, a Jedi's here, and he's gonna step out there and be like, wait, who is that?
Right.
And that could go one of two ways. Ooh, who is this new guy? Oh, I need to go watch that. Or like, I don't care about this guy. What
Right.
is this? That's the only reason I think it might be Ahsoka, because that could be a better payoff for the fans. But you could also make the argument that it being Luke stepping out, that would be huge. I just don't think it's going to be Luke, though. I think it's going to be Ezra or Ahsoka.
Okay. Donovan.
I'm very excited about this. I've been thinking and like stewing on this all week, and I couldn't wait to talk to you guys about this. One, after I sent you guys the article about the rumors of Pedro Pascal being happy with the way everything was going, and the rumors were quelled by what we heard him say. So I thought that was really relieving. But this is what I think is going to happen at the season finale of The Mandalorian. I think that we are going to have these guys get together and try to save Grogu. Grogu is going to be evil. He is not going to be the Grogu that we all thought he was going to be, because I think the psychology of what Moff Gideon is doing into him, I think he's just going to keep giving him more stormtroopers to mess with.
Yep.
And he's going to create the hate in him that Ahsoka was fearing that he might have had in him. So I think that at some point we're going to see Bo-Katan and the two other Mandalorians show up to help Mando. We're going to see Boba Fett, and I think they're going to try and go in there and they're going to destroy everything. And he's going to say, come on, Grogu. And he's going to be like, no. And you see him use the Force on Din Djarin, and his helmet's going to fall off, and they're all going to look at him, and they're going to be like, pick up your helmet, Mando. And they're going to be like, this is the way. And he puts it on. And I think when we're talking about the story of The Mandalorian, I don't think it's the story about The Mandalorian. I think it's a story about the Mandalorian as a collective. We're going to get the three Mandalorian we saw at the beginning of the season team up with Din Djarin and with Boba Fett, and they're all going to be in one shot together, and they're going to try and go and get Grogu back to be on the light side, and they're going to be like, this is the way. This is what we have to do this.
Wow.
We have to defeat Moff Gideon. And at the very end, someone's going to show up and says, you can't do anything without my help. He called me for a reason, and it's going to be Luke Skywalker.
Sonny,
Whoa.
I don't know what
And
to
you were
say.
excited for what I had to say?
Oh, man, these guys
do I
are
love your opinion?
feeling it, dude.
I don't know what to say right now. So,
Think about it. It's not just one Mandalorian.
No, they're not talking about like
This
the
is-
Mandalorian as him.
No,
they're
the-
talking about the Mandalorian,
the race, the culture.
the
Yeah.
culture of
Yeah.
all of them.
Sonny, before you get into yours, I just want to say that's an incredible theory.
That's really
And
good.
my only apprehension to it is that it's going to make a lot of people mad if they're cute, cuddly little Grogu at the
That's
end
what
of
we want.
That's
damn
what
it.
people
That's
want,
what we
though,
want
I
to
think.
see.
Christmas.
I think that's the twist, though.
You think that's what people want?
that would be pretty
Who
cool.
cares what people want? Just as long as it helps the story.
they had 2
You
seasons.
say that,
they
but
had
look at The Last Jedi.
2 seasons of him selling all the cute, toys and all that kind of stuff. When you saw him force choke, and you saw him like smash these dudes' heads together, I was like, he's letting him do that for a reason. And when he showed him the black
yes,
saber,
he's teasing him with it.
he tried to reach out for the black
I
saber.
was like, nope.
And there is some foreshadowing. I think Moff Gideon's gonna get his eye poked out. Someone is, because he's like, you might poke someone's eye out with that. So there
See,
could
the
be
more
something.
you guys talk about this, the more I agree with you, and I don't like it.
he could. He's taking his nap, and he can get the Force saber out and do what. Maybe he just used the Force and pokes his eye out. Something happens. I don't know, but I think, like you were talking about, it's going to be the traditional. We got to save the little guy. Everything's going to work out, but I think it's not going to work out. And in the same reveal you're talking about, is someone's going to come. Someone answered the call in the dark room. When you see the saber light up, it's going to be purple.
There he is. He's still sticking with Mace Windu. I love it. I love the conviction. I love the prediction. I love it.
I think they could possibly kill off Boba Fett as like a sacrifice thing in the episode, because he's kind of been like too honorable. I'll come out. In the last episode, he was the first one out of the ship, and everybody's like, "Oh man, I thought you were the other guy." And then you see Din Djarin. So I think there could be a moment where it's all else fails. You have this new Jedi getting introduced. That would be personal for my payoff.
The Jedi is Jar Jar Binks.
Right, and he's like,
The Jedi?
Miss, I heard you were coming. No,
He was supposed to be
go
a Sith.
away.
but no, seriously,
That's true.
if it's not Ahsoka, if we don't get this huge, like you said, not a lot of people that just started watching The Mandalorian know who Ezra is, so it wouldn't be that big of a jaw drop. If you put the green saber that lights up and it's Sebastian Stan as a younger version of Luke, that would be cool. More people would know. But I think for a little bit of like more meta, low key, if if just the reveal is like purple, and
You know, my favorite thing about Sonny's prediction there is he stared me in the eyes while he made it, waiting for me to say he was going to respond.
and it's purple.
Okay.
And it's purple.
No, but I think personally for me, I'm sticking to that. The under of it happening is, but I'm going with that.
I think that we've had moments of payoff
Oh, yeah.
within this series, and I think that we're going to get a big payoff
Yeah.
at the end of this with a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Keep in mind,
Yeah.
we are going to wait a year before we get more episodes of The
Right.
Mandalorian.
Right.
We don't know what we're going to get in between then,
Correct.
as far as that's what's Star Wars related. We don't know
Right.
what we're going to get. So I think that within, again, this episode's going to be 40 minutes, about 40 minutes, 42 minutes, whatever. Halfway into the episode, they'll be in the ship or whatever the base is,
Mhm.
wherever it is. I think they're going to attempt to release Grogu, and I agree with you guys. I think Grogu's not going to want to go
Mm-hmm.
because his emotions are starting to change.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to hear Grogu speak,
Mm-hmm.
and he's going to say nope, or nope. He's like, I'm not going with you, or he's going to say no, like kind of shouting it,
Right.
and the voice is going to like catch people off guard, whatever.
Of course.
And the Jedi that shows up is going to be Luke Skywalker.
Huh.
And that's going to be that payoff. And we're going to see at the end, they're going to be on the ship staring down. It's going to pan out. And we're going to see a shadow of the Chimera, which is Grand Admiral Thrawn's ship, going over wherever they are at.
Very end of Thor Ragnarok.
Oh, I like that.
And there'll be some foreshadowing for we don't know what direction we're
No.
going to go in. And then
Because
who knows?
What's Mark Hamill really doing right now?
He's not doing anything. He's making Uber Eats commercials or Grubhub
like,
commercials
come
or whatever.
on. And he looks
With
good.
Picard. Guys, we're so glad that you take time to listen to us lose our minds about all
yeah.
things nerd.
Thank you guys so much.
Remember, tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, we'll be reacting and crying probably about The Mandalorian being done. We're going to have a call-in line. You guys can call and talk and give us your opinion about some of these Disney Plus series coming up, to your reactions to The Mandalorian.
Yep.
And we're looking forward to it. Guys, thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks, gentlemen. It's always a pleasure.
I
Oh, so
love
fun.
being here so much.
What you guys got?
Great.
Be safe and have a wonderful time.
There you go.
This is the way?
Ooh.
Question mark?
Yeah.
Go read some comics.
Yes, go read.
Shoot that shot. Shoot it.